Hi guys, it's Stephen Edwards from Chartered Tax Accountant. So I'm an accountant. I'm an ACCA qualified accountant. I also run my own accounting business called Chartered Tax Accountants. And today I'm going to talk to you about Xero. We have previously uploaded some videos on Xero, but we feel we can do a lot more. We're going to take a deeper dive into Xero, what it's all about, why it's so popular, why we feel it's the best online bookkeeping system for your business. But if you're a client or not a client, if you're a business owner or looking to start a business, hopefully there's some value in this. So long story short, what's all the fuss? What is Xero? So Xero is essentially an online bookkeeping system. I have actually got a video which is called Xero Part 1, which, funny enough, I don't even talk about Xero, I talk about what bookkeeping is. And the reason why I talk about what bookkeeping is, because you can then understand why choose Xero to do your bookkeeping. So essentially, bookkeeping is just data collection and coding and analysing and sorting information and categorising it in the proper manner, generally for tax purposes, but also for business purposes, so you can better understand your business, what type of income sources you have, and what type of expenses you have. And over time, you can look at trends. Am I spending too much money? Is my advertising expenses going up? Are my wages expenses going up? And that sort of thing, really. You can really delve in if you've got up-to-date bookkeeping information. So any online bookkeeping system, any good online bookkeeping system should be able to connect to your bank account. And I do recommend you having a business bank account. I've got a video on that. Connect to a business bank account and it can drag or scrape through the transactions into the software such as Xero. And then what you'll see is a screen like this. This is called your dashboard on Xero. You'll see a screen like this that says reconcile 29 items. And basically what that means is there's 29 bank transactions that have come from your online banking. It's gone into Xero and you've not yet categorized those expenses. It's waiting there for you to tell Xero, to instruct Xero, what are these 29 items? Where do you want to allocate them to? That's essentially what it means when it says reconcile. I'm not going to do a really deep dive in terms of the reconciliation, understanding this dashboard and looking at all the other features of Xero, but I will cover some of the reconcile items part of Xero, because it's one of the most fundamental things that most people that do their own bookkeeping are going to do on Xero. So, when people say, what's bookkeeping? What do I need to do? In really, really simple terms, it is reconciling everything that comes from your bank account. Obviously, we can take a deeper dive into that. Just because you're reconciling it, we'll look at it in a second, doesn't mean you're reconciling it to the correct place. You might be putting it to the wrong place. And if you've got no accountant, who's going to tell you you're putting it to the wrong place? You might be claiming expenses you shouldn't be claiming. You might be missing expenses you shouldn't be claiming. Are all of your expenses in your bank account in the first place? Because if they're not coming from your bank account, if they're coming from cash, or they're coming from your own credit cards or your own bank account, they won't even show here. So there's a lot more to cover later on, but I wanted to show you the basics. So the basics are bank transactions come into Xero and then you reconcile everything and account for everything. So just quickly cover the dashboard. So you can have an account watch list. So you can basically say, what's my biggest expenses, or what's the most important types of accounting categories? And accounting categories are generally expense categories. So you've got advertising, IT expenses, travel expenses, motor expenses, just to name a few. You've also got income categories. You've got things like sales, money introduced from you as the business owner. You might have funding, you might have loans. So you might determine for your business that you want to keep on top of, and you want to track advertising. So it says in this example, YTD means year to date. So year to date is just for your financial year. If your business runs from January to December in terms of your financial year, and we're in October as I'm doing this video, so the year to date would be from January all the way up to October. So my year to date advertising expenses in this example, I'm in a demo company, might be £8,711.46. And it might be that I want to keep on top of my advertising expenses. So I've put on my little dashboard and under what's called an account watch list. It's just so I can keep an eye on those expenses. It's in my face because I might be doing my bookkeeping on a daily or weekly basis. Every time I log in, I've got one eye on my most important categories, potentially, if that's how you want to use Xero. You've also got invoices owed to you. Some people refer to this as accounts receivable. Here you go, accounts receivable summary. So accounts receivable or debtors is generally people that owe you money, okay? So for this particular demo business, they are owed £20,441.38 from customers. So that's essentially where you've raised an invoice, and I will take a deeper dive into that in a different video. But in Xero, you can raise your own invoice. You can raise an invoice. So think of this as a really quick tour of Xero. So you can raise an invoice, and if I raise an invoice for £1,000, it's not been paid, it's not hit my bank account because the customer might pay me in a month's time or 2 weeks' time. It should show up here, and it should say £1,000, awaiting payment, invoices owed to you. For this particular company, it's a demo company, they've got 14 invoices awaiting payment. So I'm just going to show you, actually, we'll come back to the dashboard, how to raise an invoice. We'll go into accounting, business, go into invoices. We're still in the demo company, so these are all fake invoices, I guess, but if you click on new invoice up here, and there is another way of doing this, I'll show you the other way of doing this in a second, but you can go into the business, go into invoices, do new invoice, and you can start filling out the details to create an invoice. I'm just going to show you another place to do this. If you go into customers, under contacts, pick on the customer you want to raise an invoice for. So let's pretend it's basket case, click on them, and then we can click on new invoice. Exactly the same thing from two different places. From here, I'm doing it from a position, a view, or a dashboard where I can see all of my customer invoices. From here, I'm just doing it from one customer in particular. Same result. The only difference is if I do it from the customer, it will automatically populate. I just realized this opened up in a different browser, but it will automatically populate an invoice details for me for the customer. So it already knows the name. If I go into it from the invoices screen and I do new invoice from here, I just need to type in the customer name. That's the only difference, really. So if I type in basket case, there's the customer, same thing. And you can create pre-saved items. So if your business has routine services, routine stock and products, you can save a description. So it automatically populates that description for you. I'll just show you what that looks like. So this particular business demo company might be selling t-shirts. So I can do black t-shirt, quantity, let's pretend it's £40 per unit, it says here, which is quite expensive, isn't it, really? But if we had 10 of those, oh, you can even do stock management. So it says there's only 5 on hand. That's another video. That's a deeper dive. You can potentially even control the amount of stock you've got on Xero, which is another level, really. But let's pretend, okay, we're doing 5. 5 at £40 is £200 in total. That's what we're going to invoice the customer. And I don't want to do a deep dive into VAT. I don't want to do that now. But generally, if you are VAT registered, watch out for a video to do VAT, then you're going to do tax exclusive because your pricing is going to be excluding VAT if you're raising an invoice to a business. VAT gets added on 20%. So I'm charging the customer £240, but £200 is my income, £40 is VAT, which is, as I said, is really a separate conversation. Approve that invoice. Let's put a due date in here. Due date at the end of the month. So that particular customer now owes me £240. If we dive into Basket Case and look at their contact record, we can see that they owe us £240. That's the invoice we've just raised. But they also owe us £914.55 from the 15th of September, and we can drill into that invoice and look at the details. We can print it as a PDF. We can also email it to the customer. So there's lots of fancy things we can do around that. Go back onto our dashboard because I do really want to make this a bit of a summary sort of Xero 101. So we've got reconcile your bank account. You can raise invoices. You can have a quick view of who owes you money. You can also have a view of who you owe money to. So that's something that deserves its own deeper dive again, because there's lots of ways for you to get your supplier invoices into Xero. I personally recommend something called Dext. It used to be called Receipt Bank. You might have come across something called HubDoc or Auto Entry, and it's receipt extraction or receipt scanning software. You can take a picture on your phone, take a picture of the receipt, or you can forward an email receipt or invoice to a designated email address. And what it does is you can effectively get all of your invoices, electronic copies of your invoices in Xero, and it shows as what you owe on your Xero dashboard. So if we click on this, this is what this particular demo company owes out. They owe all these people these particular invoices, and then we can click into one of the suppliers. And we can see what we owe. So in this example, we owe, it says there to connect to HubDoc. So that's what I was touching upon. So it says we owe £242, and this is what we owe it for, taxi services. This little icon here for document, if you were using HubDoc, if you're using Dext, if you're using Auto Entry, you can click on that, and you can actually see the real invoice, the actual physical real invoice, because this is a Xero copy, if that makes sense, of the invoice. So if I've got a receipt here, if I took a picture on my phone of the receipt, I can physically get the receipt onto Xero. Xero will extract all of the Dext or HubDoc will extract all of the information, send it to Xero, so it looks like this, but I can still see the receipt. If you're getting confused, don't worry. I'm really just touching upon these areas for you. Back to the dashboard. Quick recap. So we've got you reconcile your bank transactions, which we're going to have a quick look at in a second. We've got your invoices owed to you. We've got bills you need to pay. We've also got expense claims. So if you're the director or you've got staff, you can potentially do your expense claims. That's really the general gist of the dashboard. If you've got more than one bank account, you can add it on here. You can have multiple bank accounts, and it also gives you a snapshot of your cash that's going in and out. So finally, just to wrap up for a few more minutes, let's have a look at reconciling some items. If we go into reconcile, I'm going to do a separate video where I go into more detail. I just want to touch upon it for the purpose of this initial Xero intro, because it's one of the most important aspects. And if you're doing your own bookkeeping, it's where you're going to spend most of your time. So what this effectively is a reflection of your bank statement. So Xero connects to your bank account and you log in through your internet banking, but Xero will walk you through like a wizard. It brings the transactions in. If you're doing it for the first time, you need to select the very first date. So you might say from the 1st of August or from the 1st of January, whenever you started your business or whenever you started your business account, bring all those transactions in. And then what you do is you go through and you basically just categorize it. So here is spent money, and on the right-hand side is received money. So we've got a spend money transaction. And at the moment, Xero's not got any information on the right-hand side of the screen. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you're basically telling Xero what it needs to know to categorize this particular transaction. So we've got a payment. I don't know what that is because it's a demo company. In an ideal world, you'd have a receipt. And if you did have a receipt, it would match green generally if you sent it through Dex, but we will take a deeper dive into that. In this example, we've not got receipt. It could be anything. Let's pretend we know what it is. I'm the business owner for this demo company. So the payment is to, it could be an existing supplier. If I type in A, it shows me some of the suppliers beginning with A. If it's a new supplier, I'll just call it Joe Blogs. I can create a contact on the fly, and I can categorize that expense. So one of the questions you guys might have is, how do I know where to post everything to? Post is how accountants or bookkeepers describe allocating expenses or transactions to categories or specific accounts in your business. So let's pretend this was for consulting. I've paid someone for some consulting. They've gave me some advice, and that's where I'm going to post it to. Okay, or I'm going to allocate it to. The key is to be consistent. you shouldn't necessarily know exactly where to allocate everything to, because if you're just starting a business for the first time, you won't be a bookkeeper and you won't be an accountant. So you're not necessarily going to know. It's something you might learn over time. And as I mentioned, I will take a deeper dive into that. So don't worry if you're a bit confused. How do I know where to post or allocate that to? For the purposes of this video, I want to put it to consulting. And you could put a little bit of a description. So I could say consulting on IT systems. If you've not had an invoice or receipt to say there's VAT on the receipt, generally you don't claim the VAT, but that's something I'll explain in more detail in the future. So we'll go no VAT, okay, it's gone. It's disappeared like magic. And basically where it's gone to the consulting category in my accounts, which I'll show you in a second how we can have a look at that. And basically, as I said, I'm going to do this in more detail. You'd work your way down and you would reconcile or allocate your transactions. What we've got here is we've got money going into your bank. So we've got received money, we've got a payment from Ridgeway University, invoice number 35. Because we've already raised the invoice on Xero, Xero knows you've got an invoice from Ridgeway University. It knows that the business owes you £6,187.50. So what it's done is it's matched it as green and said, do you want to allocate this bank payment against this invoice that you raised earlier on? And then if you're happy with that, just press OK. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's definitely what it relates to. OK, it's paid off that invoice. Xero knows that customer no longer owes me the money. If for any reason it's not the same company or Xero's not allocating it automatically against the right contact, you can click on create and you can choose what to do with that. So that's it, 101. One more thing I want to show you. If we go into accounting, we go into profit and loss. I'm not going to explain this in super detail. I just want to show you where things show up later on. We're in the demo company. We're going to go into these are a category of all the expenses, a summary of all the expenses I've already, so the demo company's already allocated as payments, either from the bank or from somewhere else. If I go into consulting, click on consulting, I want to find that payment I allocated or I posted a few minutes ago to show you. So here we go. There we go. Joe Blogs, consulting on IT systems. It's in that category. If there are any other expenses that were for consulting, they would be on here as well. If I go back again. Oh. Yeah, so if I go back again here to my P&L, then I can see that I've got consulting, £1,223, and I can drill into any of these categories. If I drill into my advertising, which was something on my dashboard, I can click into that and I can have a look at a list of all of the payments that I've allocated for advertising, and I can see how it accumulates over time. I can run a date range, or I can change the particular account I want to look at. So that's it, guys. That's a really quick tour of Xero for you. It's a bit of an introduction. Hopefully that's useful. Watch your space, subscribe if you want to learn more about Xero in the future. Thanks, guys. Cheers.